Hey everyone, and welcome to this video on securing connections with environment level VPNs. So today we're going to dive into how to set up and configure an environment level VPN on Cycle. From the dashboard, we're going to click into environments and head over to the environment that we're working in. So I've created this VPN demo environment. It's completely stock from create, other than I've turned on the load balancer. So because the VPN is a tunnel into this environment, VPC or network, you do have to turn on the load balancer in order for it to work, because it does need an entry point into the environment. So I've gone ahead and done that, but other than that, this is a completely stock environment. And so what you can see here is I have this VPN manage button, and I can click here, and the VPN is not enabled. So part of what I went into in the blog, and a lot of the advantage here with managing these Cycle VPNs is whether I'm in this environment or any other environment, I'm always going to be managing these VPNs in the same way. So it's kind of standardized the way that you're able to log in, manage authentication. You're not dealing with updating the actual software or dealing with any of the implementation details. It's as simple as just heading over to this management tab, enabling, and then consuming that VPN as you see fit. And so that could be a big breath of fresh air for teams that don't want to have to deal with multiple different types of configurations, dealing with kind of a sprawl on auth types or auth implementations or usernames and passwords, retiring old accounts, taking care of things on the administration side. This is a much more straightforward approach to that, and so we think that's it's quite the strength for the Cycle VPN. Now, since I've just enabled this VPN, if I click generate and then download, it's likely that I'm going to need to wait for, oh, and it's already done. So when you do first click on the VPN enable, if you immediately click generate and download, there's a chance that the files will still be configuring. If you do see an error or anything like that, just wait 1 or 2 minutes, click download again, and you'll get a screen like this. So I'm going to save, and I'm going to click on this, and I will double click. Oh, you didn't see that, so let me go bring this over here. So I double click this file, and it was added automatically to my client. And so I can open that, and I can see that I have the VPN demo. So this is the Cycle Demo Hub and the VPN demo environment, and that's how it's named here in my client automatically. Now, I haven't set up any auth yet, so if I were to try to sign into this, it would fail. I can show that. Let me do this. Okay, and the auth fails. And so let's click over to auth. And you can see there's 2 ways to configure auth on the VPN. There's allow Cycle logins, and there's allow VPN accounts. Now, the Cycle login is definitely the most popular, as you're able to select that, update VPN access, and now anyone with the appropriate environment's VPN capability in their role on Cycle will be able to log in to this VPN using the Cycle account they use to log into the portal. And that's nice because you can now standardize every login to VPNs that have this access control enabled. The other piece of this, if you're familiar with our environment access control list, is if a user has environments VPN but does not have access to the environment, they are restricted from logging into that. And so if they were to get a hold of the configuration somehow and add that to their client, they would still not be able to log into the VPN because of the ACLs. The other way that we can add someone to the Cycle logins is allow VPN accounts. And so we'll say admin, and we'll use a super secure password account. Okay, and we can add that, and we'll update, Great. And so now we'll log in. Great, and you can see that my client was able to make that connection. Okay, if I go back over to dashboard, and this is a really neat activity log here. So very quickly at a glance, you can see who's logging into the VPN, what username they're using, and which environment that's a part of. So nice quick activity log here. If for some reason you needed to see the instance console for the VPN, it is located here. Okay, so let's do something with this VPN. We have a VPN created. How are we going to use this? Let's see what happens when we deploy a database. I believe I have MySQL on here. There we go. Leave everything default. I'm just going to enable this. Oh, add, sorry. Root password. You can see that I've tested this before. And we're going to use a super secure password and save. And then we are going to start this container. Then on my other screen, I'm going to grab my MySQL workbench while that starts. Excellent. Okay, oh, and here it is. And so we have MySQL Workbench. We have a running container, but if you look at public networking is disabled. And so with databases, we don't want to make databases publicly accessible unless we absolutely have to. And yes, I understand there's a few circumstances that might require that, but for the most part, we want to keep them disabled from public networking. However, as a user, I might want to interact with that database that's living in that environment network without exposing it, but I need a way to tunnel in, and that's really what the VPN facilitates. And so because I'm connected, my local machine is now a part of this environment network. And so what I can do for my workbench is connect to this database. So I'm just going to grab the IP, and I'm going to add we'll call this demo VPN, and we'll give it this host name, and let's give it a password. Okay. And all right. And we are connected, and we are opening. And we are open. So you can see the schemas are absolutely empty. That's because this is a brand new database. So let's just start by dropping a little script in here. Got something from ChatGPT that'll make it easy to populate a database. And let's do this and run. Success. Go to schemas. I have to refresh. And you can see that we've interacted with this database. And so, okay, great. So let's prove that that's actually interacting with that database. Let me grab my terminal. Here's my terminal. Let's use the two-way console. Okay. Let's connect. Okay, and you can see that we have the example DB. This is a command, yes it is. Select star from customers. And there's our entries. So you saw me create the database. It was completely empty. You saw me connect to the VPN. You saw me use the local database management tool to run some queries against the existing database. And then we've proven that we were interacting with that database by logging in through the two-way console, just as a way to demonstrate that and showing that the data was actually applied to the correct database. The VPN can be a powerful way to interact with containers that are deployed to an environment, especially containers that you don't want to give public access to, like databases or really any stateful data store. The configuration, management, and administration is standardized, and it should be very straightforward to use. And I hope that you've enjoyed this quick look at how to configure a VPN, how to connect, and what it might look like to interact with a container. We'll see you next time. Thanks.